Greetings, soldier. Welcome to today's video. Today, we are going to take a look at the life of ATIN SKIRATA. ATIN SKIRATA was a clone commando in Omega Squad during the Clone Wars. Training. ATIN was born on 32 BBY on Camino. While training, ATIN received many scars, partly from his regular training, but also because of the fact that his trainer, well involved, was ruthless training sergeant, forcing the clones to either fight each other or to fight him. ATIN refused to fight his brothers, so he decided to combat War, with War almost killing him with his Mandalorian saber. He originally had a squad during training, where it died in a killing hose, a training program where they used live fireworks to train commandos. It was then reassigned to Prudy Squad. Death of his squad. ATIN was reassigned to Prudy Squad, but other one but him died at the first battle of Geonosis. Afterwards, ATIN got a case of survivor skill that involved slashing a commander with his knife, leaving a scar stretching from his right eye to the left side of ATIN's chin. Soon after these events took place, he became a soldier in the newly formed squad known as Omega Squad, consisting of himself, Donald SKIRATA, Phi SKIRATA, and Nina SKIRATA. They attended a meeting for the next mission, which took place on Prenura. 3 months after the first battle of Geonosis took place, he and the rest of Omega Squad went on a mission to Prenura. Once they flew in, they were shut down. Phi and ATIN jumped out of the ship, while Nina was pushed outward trying to force Darwin. ATIN was able to rendezvous with Phi and Nina, and work their way towards the objective. ATIN thought Darwin was dead and did not mind sharing his opinions on the matter. ATIN was a silent type, until he broke down and yelled at Nina and Phi and told them his backstory. ATIN was proved wrong when Darwin rejoined the group along with Jedi Commander ATIN Tuamuken. When Darwin and his new brothers reunited and were eating a meal together, ATIN hugged Darwin, much to his surprise. Tuamuken and their Gularin ally Jinlok informed the squad that their intelligence was faulty. ATIN and Darwin then were tasked with digging under the vicinity to capture separatist scientist Dr. Overland Kwai Newton. Newton shot at the two, but they were able to apprehend her. They escaped in the tunnel they had broken into previously. However, Newton was injured during the escape. Tuamuken assisted them where ATIN and Darwin covered them in the dash for the landing point where the LAAT or Loyalty was. However, during the dash, ATIN was injured by the separatist tapped into Roddy. Darwin saw Roddy and put him down. He assisted ATIN and took him to the ship. While the gunship waited, ATIN and Newton remained at ship. Darwin and Tuamuken ran back to assist Nina and Phi take out separatist Major Geese Hokan. Tuamuken dissipated Hokan and gave his armor to Phi. After recovering, the rest of Omega Squad, ATIN and Ufan, were taken to the med bay aboard the Majestic. The Galactic City spaceport hostage siege. A month later, after he had healed from his injuries on Prenura, Omega Squad were deployed in Coruscant as a special unit for a hostage situation. Galactic City spaceport had been taken over by Colonel terrorists. This is when ATIN was first introduced to SKIRATA, the training sergeant and father figure for the rest of Omega Squad. Jedi General Kime attempted to defuse the situation with democracy. However, Kime's plan backfired, which resulted in his death. Kane's corpse was tossed outside with several explosives attached to it. Phi jumped onto the corpse, taking the explosives head-on and surviving. The CSF would remember Phi's great acts and wished to honor him. Despite his being a commando, so many of them wished to buy him drinks at a bar. Mission to the Coruscant-Palamian intersection. During the mission to the Coruscant-Palamian intersection, Omega Squad captured some terrorists that were allied with the terror cell on Coruscant. The squad were flown in by Sicko in an unmarked Republic ship. Once the squad was dropped off, Sicko flew off. The squad lost contact with Sicko. The squad were stuck aboard the separatist ship, which had been disabled by the squad, but unfortunately, all systems including oxygen and heat became limited. The commanders waited for assistance, While 3 ships were inbound, the Separatist shuttle commandeered by Delta Squad, the Majestic and the Fearless. They had also received word of a Separatist cruiser was on its way to take them out and leave no witnesses. Luckily, Delta Squad entered the system before the Separatists could. Fearless entered the system shortly thereafter for extraction. Delta brought ATIN and Omega into their ship, and then the Fearless. While leaving the system on their asked of Siko's sidetrack, it was discovered that Siko was killed by a civilian freighter, the Nova Crystal, because they thought that Siko's vessel, TIVC-591, was a pirate ship. In the eyes of the public, the captain was a hero, but Siko would be remembered by Omega, though they barely knew him. They met with ATIN once again on board the Fearless. Later on, while aboard the ship, ATIN and Delta Squad member Seth got into an argument. Both were joined by a War, and Seth was mad at ATIN because War was disappointed in him. Black Ops on Coruscant. When they arrived back on Coruscant for the briefing, they met up with Training Sergeant SKIRATA, who made Delta Squad do several push-ups on the spot for molting off. The 2 squads were called on by SKIRATA for a special operation on the planet, which he ran past General Hannigan's day. He gave the commanders 2 weeks leave and was able to give a company of other troopers the same for a cover. They established a makeshift base at Quibble Spar. The squad were divided up into teams of 4 in several different watches. ATIN was assigned to White Watch with Fixer. After doing some recon, the watchers discovered the Separatists on the planet, led by a man named Perez. Shortly thereafter, many of the clones went back to the bar. While in the bar, ATIN was a victim of flirting by a Trilite waitress named Lasima. ATIN was not expecting this and was overwhelmed. Only a few more hours later, the squad was gearing up for an assault on the terrorists. The unit consisted of the men of Omega and Delta Squads, SKIRATA, Wall, Ardo, Miro, Kar, ATIN, and the General Baden Jussi, as well as War's pets drill Lord Milverel. ATIN, War and Miert went off the parade for the Delta Planet he possessed, while the rest were charged with taking out the Separatist cell as a rule overnight. Their mission was successful, and they were able to execute or capture all of the 98 Separatists in the cell. By the end of the night, the unit and the CSF were celebrating at Tribus, where Lasima sat with ATIN and caressed the scar across his face. Later that night, ATIN got his life and prepared to execute War, as he swore to do so after his beating after the first battle. War entered the room and ATIN confronted him. The 2 fought for a few minutes, but before ATIN could deal the killing blow, Jussi entered the room and tossed them both on the opposite sides of it. ATIN begrudgingly shook his hands with War after Jussi ordered him to do so. The squad would soon be deployed again, after only a day more of rest. Thank you for listening, Soji. I hope you liked this video. Maybe you could give the video a like and my channel a subscribe. Goodbye.